Empire of Dirt is a story about Fallout 3's best character, Ishmael Asher. Ishmael Asher is such a fascinating character to write because he's inarguably a bad person. I don't really think anybody would say that he's a good human being, but the vision that he has, while horrible and brutal, does have a certain logic to it because he isn't just killing and enslaving for the sake of it, like, say, Paradise Falls or the Raiders. He has purpose. He has a reason for doing the things that he does. And that's what I've tried to do with Empire of Dirt here. It's a very dark story, probably one of the darkest I've ever written, but I'm actually quite pleased with it because I got to explore the highlight of Fallout 3, in my opinion, the pit. The pit was such a fun thing to do, and it had a moral ambiguity to it that the game itself didn't. So it was much, much, much more interesting than the main storyline for Fallout 3, which, I share the general consensus that Fallout 3's main storyline was terrible. I like how I got to explore Ronto, which is an area that we've referenced, but we haven't really gotten into because, the story's about America. We haven't really gotten into Canada. I hope one day to write a story about Ronto because it has a lot of potential. The epilogue, I had to screw over the alphabet on this one because the epilogue just shows how, once again, sometimes my stories have a conceit in that, it might not be plausible for this to happen, but I think it's kind of cool to show, a galaxy of dirt. The original title for the epilogue was Galaxy of Dirt, but I think Empire of Dirt works well just for the title. On the whole, this is a very dark and brutal story, but Ishmael Asher is a very dark and brutal person. And I think the vision that he has for the world, while not acceptable or anything that should be encouraged, is something that is fascinating to explore in literary form. And I'm really glad that I had the opportunity to do it with Empire of Dirt. Probably, I don't want to say my favorite Fallout Death Note crossover, because, I'm going to write some more and I might have a favorite at some point, but I'd say at this point, this is probably my favorite. It was quite an enjoyable one to write.